It's another Mind of God Productions, KingNobleBlackSupremacy.com. The time is now. The awakening is happening. Black Supremacy. Stay tuned.
The glow of a smartphone screen holds a certain kind of magic. It promises connection, community, and for a select few, a stage grander than any theater. This is the lure of social media fame. It's an intoxicating cocktail of validation and opportunity. Imagine for a moment thousands or even millions of people hanging on your every word. They like your photos, they share your videos, companies send you free products, then they send you money. You travel the world not as a tourist but as a personality. It's a modern fairy tale, a dream sold to anyone with a camera and a Wi-Fi connection. The rewards seem limitless, a golden ticket to a life of freedom and adoration. This promise is incredibly powerful. It taps into a fundamental human need to be seen, to be valued. In a world that can often feel anonymous and overwhelming, becoming an influencer feels like a way to matter. You are no longer just a face in the crowd. You are a brand, a voice. Your opinions shape trends, your lifestyle becomes an aspiration for others. The initial steps often feel innocent enough. You share a passion, a hobby, a slice of your authentic life. The positive feedback is addictive. Each like, each comment is a small hit of dopamine, reinforcing the idea that you are on the right path. It feels good, it feels real. But the digital stage has no curtains. The audience is always watching, and their applause is conditional. What starts as a simple joy of sharing soon becomes a job with unspoken rules. The numbers become your boss. You notice that certain types of posts do better than others. A vulnerable confession gets more comments. A slightly more revealing photo gets more likes. A dramatic argument with another creator gets more shares. The platform itself seems to reward this shift. Suddenly, you're not just sharing your life, you are curating it, shaping it, and sometimes twisting it to please the crowd. The rewards grow, but so does the pressure. The free holidays and brand deals are contingent on maintaining the numbers. A dip in engagement feels like a personal failure, a terrifying sign that the magic is fading. So you push a little harder, you share something a little more personal, stage a conflict that feels a little more real, or perform a stunt that is a little more dangerous. The line between your true self and your online persona begins to blur. You are performing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for an audience that is perpetually hungry for more. It's a gilded cage, and you only realize you're trapped when you try to find the door. Beneath the colorful user interface of every social media platform, there is something else at work. It's a complex, invisible system of code. People call it the algorithm. Its official job is simple: to keep users engaged for as long as possible. It learns what you like, what you hate, what makes you stop scrolling. It then feeds you more of the same. For creators, this algorithm is not a neutral observer. It is the god of their digital universe. It decides who becomes visible and who remains in the shadows. It is the unseen hand that guides the flow of attention, and therefore, the flow of money and fame. This system has no concept of human well-being. It doesn't care about truth, authenticity, or mental health. Its only goal is to maximize engagement. And what engages humans most effectively? Often it is conflict, drama, outrage, and extreme emotion. The algorithm learns this pattern quickly. It notices that a calm, measured video about gardening gets a fraction of the views of a tearful public apology or a furious rant, so it pushes the drama to the top of the feed. For an influencer trying to make a living, the message is clear: chaos is currency, stability is invisible. The system quietly encourages them to lean into the more extreme parts of their personality. Think of it as a silent director, whispering in the ear of every creator on its platform. It doesn't send them a memo. It simply rewards certain behaviors and punishes others. When an influencer posts something authentic and calm, the algorithm might show it to a small percentage of their followers. The post stagnates. But when they stage a dramatic breakup or engage in a public feud, the system blasts it out to a wider audience. The views skyrocket. The creator receives a flood of attention, both positive and negative. To the algorithm, all engagement is good engagement. It has nudged the creator towards a more volatile path. This creates a dangerous feedback loop. The influencer, desperate to stay relevant, learns to feed the machine what it wants. They start to anticipate the algorithm's desires. They ask themselves, what can I do that will cause the biggest reaction? This question leads them away from genuine expression and towards calculated performance. They are no longer just sharing their lives, they are producing content designed to manipulate an invisible system. The unseen hand is no longer just guiding them, it is controlling them, pushing them towards behaviors they might never have considered on their own, all in the relentless pursuit of digital visibility. The descent rarely happens all at once. It's a slow, subtle slide, a series of small compromises that lead to a much larger problem. Consider the story of a fitness influencer, let's call him Leo. He started his channel with a genuine passion for healthy living. His early videos were simple, honest and helpful. He showed his own workout routines and shared nutritious recipes. He built a small but loyal following of people who trusted him. He felt good, like he was making a positive impact. The initial journey was fulfilling, driven by purpose rather than profit. He was just a guy who loved fitness, sharing his journey with the world. Then, Leo had his first taste of true viral fame. One day, he posted a video of himself attempting a risky, slightly dangerous fitness challenge he saw trending online. The video exploded. It gained millions of views in a week, far more than anything he had ever posted before. His follower count surged. With the views came brand deal offers for energy drinks and workout gear. The algorithm had shown him the formula for success: risk equals reward. The validation was overwhelming. He felt a pressure, both internal and external, to replicate that success. His old, sensible content suddenly felt boring and inadequate, so Leo started chasing the next viral hit. The focus of his channel shifted from sustainable health to extreme stunts. He pushed his body to its limits, performing increasingly dangerous lifts and challenges. He promoted questionable supplements because the companies paid him well. His original followers started to question the change. "This isn't the Leo we subscribe to," they would comment. But for every old follower he lost, he gained 10 new ones, drawn in by the spectacle. He was trapped. To maintain his newfound fame and income, he had to keep escalating the drama and the risk. His personal life began to suffer. The constant need to create extreme content left him physically and emotionally drained. He became obsessed with his analytics, his mood rising and falling with the view counts. He argued with his friends and family who worried he was losing himself. He was no longer the happy-go-lucky fitness enthusiast. He was a content machine, perpetually exhausted and anxious, living in fear of becoming irrelevant. The first spiral had taken hold, pulling him deeper into a cycle of performance and self-neglect, all orchestrated by the invisible demands of the algorithm he was trying so desperately to please. Let's look at another common trajectory, that of the relatable influencer. We'll call her Authentic Alex. Alex built her brand on being real. She became famous for her unfiltered posts about mental health struggles, body image issues, and the messy realities of daily life. She didn't use filters, she posted photos of herself crying. Her motto was, "It's okay to not be okay." People loved her for it. She felt like a friend, a confidant. Her authenticity was her product, and it was selling incredibly well. She was a breath of fresh air in a sea of curated perfection. But a strange paradox began to emerge. How do you authentically perform authenticity for a living? As her fame grew, her life changed. She was no longer struggling to pay rent, she was signing 5-figure brand deals. The messy realities of her life were now happening in a luxury apartment. To maintain her brand, she had to continue performing the struggle that her audience had originally connected with. Her genuine vulnerability was slowly replaced by a manufactured version of it. The sadness became scheduled. The tearful confessions were filmed with perfect lighting. The pressure to be authentically miserable was immense. If she posted about being genuinely happy, her engagement would drop. Her audience didn't want to see her succeeding. They wanted to see her struggling, just like them. They felt betrayed by her newfound wealth. So Alex found herself in a bizarre trap. To keep her career, she had to curate a public image of sadness and failure, even on days when she felt fine. Her entire identity became a performance of a past self. The very thing that made her famous, her realness, was now the most fake thing about her. This led to a profound sense of alienation. She felt like an imposter in her own life. She was monetizing a version of her pain that she no longer felt, or worse, she was forcing herself to stay in a negative headspace to create relatable content. Friends would see her laughing and happy in private, then see a post about her darkest day an hour later. The disconnect was jarring. She was playing a character named Authentic Alex, and she was forgetting who Alex really was. The algorithm and the audience it had built for her had locked her into a role she could no longer escape. There is an old story, a myth that echoes through cultures. It's the tale of making a pact with a dark force. You trade your soul, your very essence, for worldly gain, for power, for knowledge, for fame. In the 21st century, this story is not just a myth. Honestly, it is playing out every day on the screens of our phones. For many influencers, the pursuit of online fame becomes a modern-day Faustian bargain. The devil is not a horned creature, but an abstract system, the algorithm, the audience, the market, that demands a piece of you in exchange for a blue tick of verification. The soul in this metaphor is one's core identity. It is your private thoughts, your genuine relationships, your personal boundaries, and your sense of self-worth outside of public validation. The trade begins subtly. At first, you just give up a little bit of your privacy. You share details about your breakfast, your workout, your holiday. Then the system demands more. To get more engagement, you share details about your romantic relationship. You film arguments with your partner. You turn a private moment of grief into public content. Each compromise feels small at the time, a necessary step on the ladder to success. But these small trades add up. Over time, the line between what is for sale and what is sacred disappears. Your life is no longer your own, it is raw material for content. A family emergency is not just a crisis, it is a potential vlog. A mental health struggle is not just a private battle, it is a multi-part Instagram story. The people in your life, your friends, your children, your parents, can become unwitting co-stars in your perpetual reality show. You begin to see your own experiences through the lens of a camera, constantly evaluating their potential for engagement. This is the moment the sale is complete. The end result is a profound emptiness. You have the fame, the money, the followers. You have everything you thought you wanted, but you feel hollowed out, a shell of your former self. You look in the mirror and see a brand, not a person. You've traded your inner life for external validation, but the validation is never enough. It's a hunger that can't be filled. You feel possessed by the persona you created, driven by pressures you don't fully understand. You've sold the most valuable thing you have, not for eternal youth, but for a fleeting moment in the digital spotlight. Gaining 1 million followers might seem like a dream, but it often comes with a nightmarish psychological price tag. The human brain is not designed to process feedback from millions of people. It's not built to withstand a constant stream of judgment, adoration, and hatred on such a massive scale. For influencers, this daily onslaught becomes their reality. Their self-worth becomes inextricably linked to their online metrics. A good day is a day with high engagement. A bad day is when the numbers dip, or when a wave of negative comments rolls in. This creates a volatile emotional landscape, a constant roller coaster of highs and lows. Anxiety and depression are rampant in the influencer community. The pressure to be always on is relentless. You must constantly create new, exciting content. You must engage with your audience. You must maintain a perfect image, whether that image is of a perfect life, a perfect body, or even perfect authenticity. There are no sick days, no real holidays. Taking a break means risking irrelevance. This constant pressure can lead to severe burnout, where the passion that once drove you is replaced by exhaustion and dread. The very thing you loved becomes a source of immense stress. Then there is the issue of parasocial relationships. To your followers, you are not a stranger. They feel like they know you intimately. They see you in your home, they hear your thoughts, they watch you live your life. This one-sided intimacy can lead to an unnerving sense of ownership from the audience. They feel entitled to your time, your attention, and details about your private life. This can manifest in terrifying ways, from online stalking and harassment to real-world encounters where boundaries are crossed. The influencer feels perpetually watched, unable to escape the gaze of their own following. This environment is also a breeding ground for body dysmorphia and eating disorders. Many platforms like Instagram are intensely visual. They reward a certain type of physical perfection. Influencers, particularly in the fitness and beauty spaces, are under immense pressure to maintain an often unattainable physique. They use filters, careful angles, and extreme diets to present this ideal. The constant focus on their own image, scrutinized by millions, can warp their perception of themselves. They are selling an illusion of perfection while privately battling the demons that this illusion creates. The psychological toll is a hidden wound, festering beneath the glossy surface of their feed. In the high-stakes world of online influencing, the pressure to escalate is constant. To stay relevant, creators must be bigger, louder, and more extreme than their competition. This relentless drive for attention is a direct path to reckless behavior. The same algorithm that rewards drama and controversy does not distinguish between a staged prank and a real-life crime. It only sees engagement. This incentivizes influencers to push boundaries further and further, often into territory that is legally and morally questionable. The hunt for viral content can lead directly to a police station. We have all seen the headlines: the YouTuber who staged a fake kidnapping for views, the TikToker who licked a toilet seat for a coronavirus challenge, the prankster whose prank resulted in someone getting seriously hurt. A notable case is that of the Paul brothers, Jake and Logan, who built empires on a foundation of controversy. Logan Paul faced global condemnation after filming in Japan's suicide forest, a shocking misstep driven by a profound lack of judgment in the pursuit of edgy content. These are not isolated incidents. They are the logical endpoint of a system that rewards outrageousness above all else. When the mask of the perfect persona inevitably cracks, the fallout is swift and brutal. Cancel culture is the digital equivalent of a public shaming. An old offensive tweet can resurface, a private misdeed can be exposed, the same audience that adored you one day can turn on you with ferocious intensity the next. This results in a public relations nightmare, tearful apology videos, lost sponsorships, and a tarnished brand. The influencer is forced to navigate a crisis of their own making, performing remorse for the same audience they were trying to entertain just days before. This cycle of scandal and apology is itself a form of content. The apology video becomes one of the most viewed videos on the channel. The drama drives engagement through the roof. For some, it becomes part of the business model: create a controversy, apologize for it, and then ride the wave of attention. But, for many, it is a genuinely destructive experience. The public shaming can lead to severe mental health crises. They become trapped in a self-destructive loop, their careers dependent on a cycle of transgression and redemption, all while the algorithm counts the clicks and sells the ads. While scandals and burnout are common, the algorithm's relentless push for more can lead to far darker conclusions. The quest for fame at any cost has, in some tragic cases, cost influencers everything. The pressure to perform, to escalate, and to maintain a facade of success can become an unbearable weight. For some, this journey ends not in a viral video or a lucrative brand deal, but in a quiet, devastating finality. The pursuit of a life lived online can, in the most extreme instances, contribute to the end of that life altogether. There are heartbreaking stories of creators who have died by suicide, often after public struggles with the pressures of their career. The constant harassment, the feeling of being trapped by a persona, and the isolation that fame can bring create a perfect storm for mental health collapse. People like Lee McMillan, a travel influencer known for her vibrant van life content, tragically took her own life after a public battle with depression. Her story is a stark reminder that the smiling faces on our screens may be concealing immense pain, a pain often exacerbated by the very platform that provides their livelihood. In other cases, the pursuit of extreme content leads directly to physical death. The need for thrilling, death-defying stunts to capture audience attention has had fatal consequences. Daredevils who climb skyscrapers for the perfect selfie have fallen. Stunt drivers performing for the camera have crashed. For example, Wu Yongning, a Chinese rooftopper, fell to his death from a 62-story building while attempting to film a video he hoped would bring in money to pay for his wedding and his mother's medical care. He was a direct casualty of a system that rewards life-threatening risk with likes and views. These are the ultimate irreversible outcomes of the algorithm's dark logic. They are not just tragic accidents or isolated mental health cases, they are the extreme endpoints of a system that continuously demands more from its human creators. More vulnerability, more risk, more drama, more spectacle. When an influencer dies, their profiles often become digital memorials. Their final posts are flooded with comments. The algorithm, in its cold, unfeeling way, may even push their content to more users, noting the sudden spike in engagement. The game continues, and the machine looks for its next star. We stand at a strange junction in human history. Our digital worlds are vast and interconnected, powered by algorithms that shape our lives in ways we often don't realize. These systems are designed to capture and hold our attention, sometimes with devastating consequences. Let's look at 5 real influencers whose lives were forever changed by the algorithm of death. First, Molly Russell, a British teenager who shared her life on Instagram. In 2017, she died by suicide after being exposed to a stream of self-harm content recommended by the platform's algorithm. The BBC and The Guardian reported that a coroner directly linked her death to harmful online content. Next, Sulli, a South Korean pop star and influencer on Instagram and Twitter. In 2019, she took her own life after relentless online harassment and algorithm-driven amplification of hate. CNN and Reuters covered how the platforms failed to protect her. In the United States, YouTuber Etika, real name Desmond Amafa, struggled with mental health issues in the public eye. In 2019, after months of erratic behavior and online abuse, he died by suicide. The Verge and the New York Times highlighted how YouTube's algorithm amplified his struggles, making recovery harder. TikTok influencer Dajaria Quint Noyes, known as D, was just 18 when she died by suicide in 2021. Her parents told NBC News that cyberbullying and the pressure to perform for the algorithm contributed to her mental health decline. And in India, TikTok star Sia Kakar lost her life at 16. According to India Today and BBC, she faced mounting anxiety and pressure to keep up with viral trends, driven by the platform's algorithmic demands. These are not isolated tragedies. They are the result of systems indifferent to human life, where the algorithm's only goal is engagement. The Wall Street Journal revealed how Instagram's algorithm amplified body image issues and anxiety among teens, yet the platform continued to push such content for engagement. These platforms encourage people to trade privacy, authenticity, and mental well-being for fleeting digital applause. TikTok's algorithm, as reported by the New York Times, can rapidly push vulnerable users towards self-harm and eating disorder content, sometimes within minutes. The system profits from our deepest insecurities and most dangerous impulses. The stories of Molly Russell, Sulli, Etika, D, and Sia Kakar are not just celebrity gossip. They are warnings about the real cost of algorithm-driven fame. These are cautionary tales for our time. They are canaries in the digital coal mine, warning us of the toxic environment we are all becoming a part of. Dangerous viral challenges, cyberbullying, and algorithmic pressure have led to real-world harm and loss. The algorithm's hunger for engagement fuels polarization, misinformation, and outrage, sometimes with deadly consequences. The influencer's journey is simply the most visible and extreme manifestation of this larger problem. So what can be done? The first step is to see the system for what it is. We must recognize the invisible hand shaping our digital lives and question the behaviors it encourages. For those who dream of online fame, these stories are a warning to tread carefully. Protect your identity, set boundaries, and remember that your worth is not measured in likes or followers. The siren's call of the digital stage will always be there, promising adoration and reward. But we must be aware of the price, because in the relentless quest for a life online, as these real stories show, it is terrifyingly easy to lose the life within.